Okay, today's video is my review of Resident Evil 4 Remake. So I didn't actually play the original, but so yeah, I before this game I was actually playing Village. So yeah, I was playing Village, and yeah, it was quite a good game. I think I was playing it for about Uh, I bought it and then played about 10 minutes of it, and then I just didn't bother playing it. And then I thought, right, I bought it now, so I might as well play it. So basically, your Resident Evil 4 is you're based in Spain, and you're playing Leon S. Kennedy. Is he a member of Stars? I can't remember. Anyway, so you're basically you've been sent to Spain to retrieve I think it's the president's daughter, Ashley, who's been kidnapped by a cult. Um, so yeah, kidnapped by a cult, um, to do with this weird cult who implant parasites, in each other, and they're all being controlled by Osmond Sadler, who is like their god, the holy grail, basically. That's what they think of him as. And yeah, really, this game was just crazy. Like, there was parts in it. There's like, I hate the games, especially like to do with like Evil Within, or any games like that involve someone with a chainsaw. As soon as you mention there's a person with a chainsaw in the game, it just absolutely terrifies me. This is probably another reason that I didn't want to play it, but I did, and I'm glad I did. So this is a list of all the enemies that are in Resident Evil 4. So we have Gyarados, which for me was probably on the top three scariest enemies. Basically, Gyarados are just, they got massive Wolverine type claws. They're blind as well, and you can get two versions of them. You can get like the normal Gyarados, or you can get the armored Gyarados. And they're blind, but they can still hear. So to kill them, you literally, you can throw bombs at them, but you can use other stuff against them, like weapons. But just be careful when you're going around them, that you move quickly, away from the area. So if you shoot one of them, you need to move to another area so they don't know, because they will go basically from where that direction, the sound of the gun, right? So I'm trying to think how many Gyarados you come across. I think it's 3, because you get one when you have to go in the castle. I think it's the castle. Spoilers ahead. Don't watch this if you haven't played this. So when you go down in the castle, I think it's in the dungeon, you're literally forced to fight one. And then like later on, there's 2 that have got 2 items that you need to open the door, basically. They've got horns, 2 horns, basically. One's carrying each horn. So you have to defeat both of them. So during that encounter, it's quite funny because they're both, charging about the room, and they're both like trying to whack each other. There's also other, enemies in that room as well. I'm trying to think, have we got it on here? I think they're called Plaga Gardana. So yeah, they're just like old fashioned, like wear cloaks. So the people, the enemies that are in this castle, they're old fashioned, cloaks, like monks, almost monks, and suits of armor that have got the parasite, a plague of parasite in them that just come to life. It's just, there's so many bits in that game. It's just, when you're in the castle, it's just absolutely terrifying. When you're in the village and you come across your first boss, I think your first boss is what's his name? Hold on. He's a giant, basically. You get past him, And then you have to kill Mendez as well, which to me, Mendez reminds me of the Tyrant from Resident Evil 2. He's like really, really tall, wears a long brown trench coat, wears a hat. You know, so much like Mr. X. It's it's ridiculous. So yeah, as I was saying, so when you're in the village, you're like, oh my god, I can't take this. You get like there's a part in there where there's two chainsaw people. They're women. They're called the Chainsaw Sisters. You have to kill them basically to proceed onto the next level. To push forward on the game. But when you get into the castle, things just step up a notch. There's even more, enemies on it that are actually just, for me, I was terrified. Like you had vertigo, you know, and this reminded me of this boss fight because it showed like a cutscene of looking through Vertigo's eyes, and it was almost as if it was like Alien, watching an Alien film. He's even got the tail that's a bit like Alien, the Alien films. It's just, and that was just, you had to keep guessing where he was, and where you are, you're in like this, how to explain it, you're in like this, it's like a lab, and the floors are all like metal, so you can hear, Vertigo, going across the the metal floor, and it's just so unnerving. But you have two choices during that, whether you use every single bullet you've got on you, which I don't like to do, because with Resident Evil you don't know if there's going to be any more enemies about, and they don't want to be with that. There's been times when on one occasion on this game that I've had no bullets, and I've literally had to knife four enemies, including one with a rocket launcher, where I just didn't have no more bullets. And you really do need to keep your bullets for this game, because the amount of enemies it's ridiculous. And the next one, I would say, for me, the most, and I would say it's annoying as well. It's annoying and also terrifying. And I knew it was coming up because I read about it. It's called the Regenerator. Basically, these enemies, if you shoot their arm, they can regenerate. So it's like you're wasting your bullets basically if you're not shooting the right parts on these enemies. On the first version of it, it's got 3 parasites in its body, in the center, in its chest, and it basically, to get it right, to kill them properly, you need this special telescope that you get when you're actually in the labs where they are. So yeah, you do really need that, because if you're trying to shoot them, with even a shotgun or whatever, you're shooting blind, unless if you played the game before, you know what you're doing. But if you've never played it, you're like, how do I kill them? And it can get really, really frustrating. There's times when before I've had this scope, I literally shoot them in the chest, and then when they get on the floor, I let you slash them. So I upgraded my knife quite a lot, just for that reason. So it could, take a lot of damage and do a lot of damage. So the next one after that is called an Iron Maiden. So Iron Maiden is a worse version of the Regenerator. It literally is like an Iron Maiden. It literally is a Regenerator with loads of spikes all over its body, and instead of the parasites being in its chest, it's actually one in its head. So you have to shoot them in the head to kill the thing. Like I say, if you don't shoot them properly, they regenerate, they go on the floor, they try and eat you, they go on the floor, and then they get back up and try to, they try to grab you, basically, and they regenerate. That's what they're called, regenerators, because they can, it's like they can't die. It was ridiculous trying to kill them. And I got to a part when I thought, that's it, they're gone. It's the time when I didn't do a quest, and I thought, I just want to get out of there. And later on, when I got out of the castle, I was in this room, and there was these bags hanging from the ceiling, and I was like, I don't like the sound of this. They in freezy places, and I was in this bit, and it was freezing, and there was these bags hanging from this, and there was loads in there. So I was like, fuck. I didn't like it whatsoever. But yeah, a really good game. It's worth a go.